Oh, kia ora, honey. Welcome back, bro. Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, I just wondering, bro, how you've been opening up with the karakia and that. Just wondering whether or not you'd like to open us up with a karakia today.
Oh, yeah, I'll try.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. E te atua, karo nā ki tia mātou, o mai tō mātou ranga, ai nōu, e te kōria, ai rere, pai mai, kāmen.
Awesome. Thank you, honey. That was good. Yeah, good to see you today, honey. I'm just mindful that it's been about 3 months since we first met. When you and your Uncle John come in that time. And that it's been good that when we first started meeting, we were meeting regularly on a weekly basis, and I've sort of noticed the progress that you've made over the time with some of the different interventions that have been done, and just the feedback from your uncle Honey and feedback from the whānau in terms of them saying that they seem to think things have gotten better over time. So I just want to look back at, I think we talked about one of your goals was about harm reduction or cutting back your drug use. How do you think that's actually going, Bonnie?
Oh yeah, I think it's going mean. I mean, I'm not using as much as I used to, and I'm pretty sure my family will say the same thing.
Yep.
I don't know, they seem to be pretty happy with me at the moment.
So I was thinking, if I was to think back, and correct me if I'm wrong, there was when you first came, there was a time where you were using about every day.
Oh yeah. Easy, every day from multiple times during the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So in terms of your current use, how would you, in terms of a normal week, normal 7-day week, how many days would you say that you use now?
Oh, probably maybe three times a week.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean that's a pretty good start, eh? No, that's awesome. I bumped into a friend of mine and they said that because from my understanding you're back to playing league now.
Yep.
And said he went and saw a game and he mentioned that you played a pretty good game that day. I'm just thinking, Honey, how do you think with the reduction in the drug, do you think that's helped with you being able to get yourself back onto the football field?
Yeah, I reckon they are, like, now that I'm back playing league, it means I'm sort of training maybe 4 days a week, twice with the team and then other times just on my own. But I suppose while I'm doing that stuff, there's less time for me to do the other stuff.
Yeah, no, that's good. Oh, that's good to hear, Honey, because I remember when we first talked, when your uncle was mentioning that you were really good on the sports field, so it's good to hear that you're back in in a place where you, in an environment where you seem to enjoy and actually thrive. I suppose my one question, because when I working with a number of young people, when you are around the teammates, after a game in there, is there that temptation to indulge in drug use, given sometimes, and this is only an assumption that maybe some of the friends that you use with ones that you play sports with?
Yeah, there's a few of the boys, most of the boys have a drink after the game, and there's a few that like to spark up after the game too. there's been a couple of occasions where I've joined them, and bit of a join.
Yeah.
But as I say, Saturdays after the games is probably one of the 3 days of the week that I.
Thank you for sharing that. I just want to get your thinking in terms of because we had a bit of a whānau session. There would have been about 2 weeks ago, and from what I explained before, wanting to bring the whānau, and it was just about getting their feedback in terms of how they feel that you've been doing, but also to sort of have their input and their involvement with what's happening with you, and given from what I can gather, your family is quite close, and I think the whānau support means a lot. What were your thoughts about that session with the whānau?
Yeah, I think it went alright. I mean, at first I didn't really want it to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it went alright. As I say, well, I believe that they're quite happy with how I'm going. And, they don't get as frustrated or angry at me now that I've noticed anyway. And but whether that's because I've cut back on the weed or not, I'm not too sure. But yeah, there has been a difference.
I mean, I'm guessing given some of the koiro that happened on that session, that I think a big part of of how you guys are interacting at the moment is due to your reduction, which is good. But I also think from what Uncle was talking about on that day, him seeing you coming back to the life that he knew that you were capable of doing. So I think there's a combination of things that you've been doing on that have given that family, given your partner confidence that you can continue to move forward, which is good.
Yeah, that's good. I suppose what I have noticed is like being playing league again is it's my whānau come to support me at my games.
Yeah.
And so it's making us, I suppose, enjoy each other a little bit more. Because then after the game and throughout the week we talk about how the game went and that sort of stuff. I suppose it's brought us together in that sense.
Oh, cool. Given working in an organisation that we have, I feel quite lucky because in terms of I know you've been receiving other type of input from other members of my wider team, and I've spoken with the psychologist, and he was sharing that he's met you on about 3 different occasions and was working with you around some of the different things that in regards for you to look at some of your behaviours around what was happening when you were using. I'm just wondering, did you find that useful as well?
Yeah, I was a little bit out of it at first. I mean, I didn't think that we, be talking about feelings.
Yeah.
I was a little bit uncomfortable way.
Yeah. Not the thing that we usually do, right?
Yeah. So I'm sort of glad my whānau haven't come to those sort of things.
That's understandable. Yeah, it's understandable. I mean, I think from what I can gather, what he's shared, he's doing a little bit of, I think it's CBT with you, and from what I understand, it's just about looking at a person's emotions and feelings that may lead for them to do certain actions. And I suppose it's you compare it in terms of how you feel after you've won your league game. You get that feeling of you feel on top of the world, and sometimes it can lead you to doing things that you normally wouldn't want to do. So my understanding is that's what he's trying to work with you on. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about like he's sort of talked about what sort of makes me angry and that sort of stuff. And it will just sort of identified some of those things that make me angry and then sort of talked about how I sort of deal with those situations.
Cool. Because I mean, I did, if you, and I acknowledge you going along, on it, and that offer is still open in regards if you want me to come along to those things, at times, given our engagement over the last 3 months, and our rapport has been really good. And I know that meeting a total stranger and having to pour out your emotions and your feelings can be quite difficult. So just I really take my hat off to you, and I applaud you for actually doing what you've done. But as I said, everything that you're doing is going towards that goal of being able to move forward with your life. Because from when we first met, we talked about you were going through some difficulties in terms of your thoughts, and you were quite confused, and I know that there's a community support team that you also have, and that's there to support you. I'm just hoping, in regards to your thinking, do you think that's been a part of you being able to move forward, having that type of support?
Yeah, if I think back to the first time I came in, I mean, my old Uncle John will probably tell you I didn't want to come to that first time.
Yeah.
Even the second one was a little bit tough, but pretty sweet, like all the support that I've been getting here.
That's
a few months ago, I probably thought I'd never get to this point where I'm talking to mental health people. It's been good.
I mean, it's not the easiest one. So as I said, I continue to applaud you for being able to come in and talk and be able to share in terms of what's happening for yourself in your life. How's your? I remember when we talked, and I probably haven't asked you before, but you started seeing a girl back then. You still seeing this young lady, or?
No, I've got a new one now, eh?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Young fella, eh? Cool. Awesome. Okay. All right. Oh, I mean, bro, as I said, I mean, I'm really, it's really been awesome being able to work with you. So we've sort of reached that goal now where you have reduced. I just want to ask you and put it out there. Have you ever considered stopping altogether? Is that a thought that's somewhere in the back of your mind, or are you sort of wanting to just stay with where you are at the moment?
Yeah, I think I'd like to be able to give it up altogether. Particularly like I've seen or noticed some of the changes physically since cutting back and getting back into sports. I'd like to take my sports a little bit more serious and if I'm serious about that, then that probably means giving up weed altogether.
Cool. I mean, I thought I'd just ask you in regards to that. I mean, I take my hat off to you in terms of what you've done so far. I mean, however, I was just wondering whether or not your goal was to go a bit further. And I mean, it's good because I was going to bring up sports as a possible reason why you might want to look at it in the long run. Also sort of sharing that. I mean, from what your uncle shared, your ability as a league player is really good. And if you were to be charged or caught by the police using drugs, that will limit your options in terms of if you were to go on to bigger things like playing in the NRL or even playing for the Māoris or the Kiwis. It'll limit your thing because of charge or a record that you may have. From my understanding is that when you're charged with drug use, you aren't able to leave the country. There's a lot of consequences around the use of drugs, and just highlighting that some of the good things that can come from you being able to stop altogether.
Because I know one of my bros who plays on my team, and he's pretty mean. He's a mean league player, but he's pretty hard out into the drugs. And I'm pretty sure he'd probably make the Kiwis if he went hard out at it. But yeah, I'll just keep telling him, bro. Waste stuff.
Oh, well, you might be able to put him on the right track. Next time he offers you a session on that Saturday afternoon, you might say, bro, not for me, I really want to take you in my next series.
Yeah, well, I have said that to a few of the boys actually, but sort of moments of weakness, sort of have a pump with them.
As we do. Yeah, I mean, it's from the work that I do with young people, that becomes something that they will find quite challenging. But I mean, I think we need to applaud the things that you have done, in terms of that you've now back to using 3 days as opposed to 7, and still considering we're only early, and you've sort of already shared that there's a lot of motivation there for you in order for you to look at that real goal of actually stopping altogether. You've got a good whānau support. You're still young. You've got goals. So there's just to name a couple, just to name a few. There's a lot of points there that go in your favour in terms of what you are wanting to achieve at the end of this. As I said, from start, this can continue for as long as we need to. But I mean, I think there will. I mean, we'll continue to catch up on a fortnightly basis, Bonnie, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, no, that's sweet.
That's cool with you. And I mean, after our session today, well, obviously, you've put out there that there's a goal, there's a big goal that you want to do, and that's to, stop using drugs altogether. And I think, with what's happening for you at the moment, you're getting a lot of support from your community team. You're talking about your emotions and your feelings with psychologists, and you and I are able to meet in regards to your use and looking at ways in terms of how they can be reduced even more. Yeah. So so we'll continue to see each other, honey. But I don't know whether there's any other thing that you want to talk about at this point in time.
No, not really, bro. But if, like say my bro who's been at league, if he, I don't know, if I was somehow able to convince him to get some help, how do I work on
You just let me know. I mean, when you find that the time is right, when he's ready to want to look at look at his use at the moment, just you've got my 0800 number.
Yep.
Give me a call, bro, and then just let me know, and then what I would probably think, encourage him to give me a ring.
Okay.
But I mean, if he's one of them, he's one of those fellas who's quite shy. I mean, if you want, bring him in with you one time.
Oh, yeah.
Bring him in with you one time, and then then we can have a bit of a cordial. And if he's keen, if he's interested, we can just go through some of the stuff that you and I went through when we first met, and then we can just go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I've tried some of the stuff that we've talked about. I've tried to share with them, mate.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's good because I mean, the best proof in the pudding is when you see someone else who and they're actually doing it, as opposed to sitting with someone that you don't know and being able to shoot. So I think, I mean, from what I'm hearing is that you're a bit of you can be a inspiration and a bit of motivation for him if it works that way. Yeah. So thank you for coming in, Honi. Do you want to close our session or do you want me to?
Oh, no, I can do that.
Okay.
Yep, alright. Kia tau, kia tātou katoa, kia katoa e te tātou ariki, e praiti, te arawa te atua, te pipina kaitanga, wairua tapu ake ane.
Amen. Cool.